Hey, what's happening, guys? This is Orca from Orca's Gaming Corner, and you're watching the review of Metro Exodus. So Metro Exodus is the third game in the Metro series, and it exhibits some major changes from its predecessors, mostly for the better. The game is based on the Russian author Dmitry Glukhovsky's Metro book series developed by 4A Games and published by Deep Silver. The plot. The game is set in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the former Russian Federation. You play as Artyom, the main protagonist in the game, whose quest for survival has carried him thus far after the events in the first and second Metro games, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light respectively. By now you may have realized that all the three games start with the name Metro. Well, this is indicative of the fact that after the nuclear fallout, most of the survivors lived in small pockets of civilization scattered around the Russian metro system. The world on the surface was uninhabitable due to the radiation, and no contact had been made with other civilizations in any meaningful way. I also feel Exodus in the game holds a similar meaning to that in the Bible. Artyom, his wife Anna, and the Spartan soldiers traverse the world aboard the train Aurora in search of their own bastion. The Metro games have always held their own when it comes to graphical prowess and are well known for bringing down even the best systems to its knees. Metro Exodus does not disappoint. The cutscenes are definitely not the strongest suit of Exodus, as facial animations are not that great and tend to look a bit dated. However, leaving cutscenes aside, it is by far the best looking game in 2019 on the Windows PC. From the snowy white landscapes of Volga to the barren and dry desert conditions of the Caspian Sea and the lush green forest settings, Metro Exodus exudes phenomenal level of graphical beauty never before seen in a game, quickly making it a graphical masterpiece, one that is second to none. These fantastic settings are then complemented with a true-to-life day and night cycle, along with some exceptional weather effects. Combine all of this with the inclusion of scores of humanity scattered around the world, along with the various different kinds of mutated creatures, and we have ourselves the perfect recipe for an immersive survival first-person shooter. Now on to gameplay. Gameplay varies widely compared to the previous Metro games. This is mainly due to the use of more open surface-based levels compared to the claustrophobic underground tunnels of the metro stations. Exodus feels more balanced in this regard. It is primarily a shooter, so you are handed a large variety of weapons ranging from suppressed pistols to triple barrel shotguns and crossbows, etc. All of the weapons can be modified in a myriad of different ways. This is where crafting and modding of weapons and armor come into play. The game allows you to assemble or modify weapons to your heart's content. Weapon ammunitions can either be scavenged or crafted. Ammo is scarce, so you will need to craft ammunition at some point. For crafting, there are specifically two different kinds of ingredients that you need to scavenge, which in turn leads to exploration of more locations, which introduces you to newer creatures and more enemies, and that results in depletion of ammunition, and hence we come back a full circle. This mechanism is used pretty well in Exodus. Also, this time round you can open your backpack and do some limited crafting and change your weapon loadout anywhere in the world. So crafting is not just constrained to crafting benches. There are various safe houses to be discovered throughout the map. Safe houses are places where you can get a crafting table and you may rest till a suitable time of the day for any upcoming missions. I know how awful it can be when the main shooting mechanics is subpar in a shooter, but thankfully that is not the case. The shooting feels good and realistic with the overall surroundings and settings. Although majority of your time in-game will be spent outside Aurora scavenging for stash, completing various missions, the time spent in Aurora is a welcome change where you relax and interact with the rest of the crew. Especially spend some time with your wife and plan before you head out for your next major mission. Before we move on to the next topic, let's first look at the performance of the game. I played the game at 1080p high quality presets on a GTX 1060 6GB with 8 gigs of RAM and Ryzen 5 1600 processor clocked at 3.6 GHz. The game averaged at around 45 to 50 FPS with tessellation turned off. The performance is not stellar, but it is not bad either, and the average gamer would not have a problem enjoying the game. I also saw occasional frame dips to the mid 30s, and if that is a problem, then you might have to lower the settings from high to medium. Lastly, I would not suggest playing this game on a graphics card that is slower than the RX 570 or a GTX 1060 3GB model. We come to the final parameter, the sound. The sound of the game is the key to bringing things to life, and Exodus does that beautifully. The sound of the footsteps while you walk alone through the icy cold tunnels. The sound of your heavy breathing through the gas mask, which brings a constant reminder of the struggle between life and death. The sound of various weapons, monsters and effects like rain and thunder are done really well, and lastly, the sound of death itself when you run out of filters and gasp for every last breath of air. On a side note, I don't think there is an overarching theme song in Metro Exodus. However, the culmination of the various sound effects and other features bring forth a cold and eerie feeling that at times is difficult to rid oneself of. The beauty of Metro Exodus lies in the relentless pressure it puts you through while letting you experience an exceptional adventure with spectacular in-game moments, all in the name of a noble pursuit, that is, search for one's promised land. So finally we come to the end of this review, and hope you like the review and the game. If you have anything to share, good or bad, please share on the comments below. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. Before I leave, Metro Exodus is available on the Windows Store, the Epic Store, PlayStation and Xbox, and also the Game Pass. Have a great day.